Well, making another gnome today. Starting off with a 2x4 cut in half. Seems to be just as easy as buying basswood. Use whatever wood you can. Found wood works. Doesn't really matter the species. I've used mulberry, cherry, walnut. Walnut's a little difficult. Basswood. Some others that I have no clue what it was. I just happened to find a piece and just whittled away on it. Just going around cutting all my landmarks in. Cutting the feet out at this point. This is about 5 inches long. I think the this piece totals about 14 inches long. Just easier whenever you have something to hold on to. Not necessary. Just cutting out the ears at this point. Pretty deep cuts. Then I'm gonna come back and I'll make a cut up into the stop cut. Take a little bit wider cut on the outside. Just getting everything marked up. No need to worry at this point. Take some off the hat. Feel free to pause this. This one took me about a little over an hour to complete. I think it was like an hour and 25 minutes, hour and a half. Just gonna shape the hat a little bit. And draw his nose in. You want to make an angled cut here out away from the nose. Make that stop cut and then I'll come back and I will I'm going to cut from the inside to give it a little bit less. It's a little too big. We're not going to make any eyes. You're just going to give indications of eyes. And this is a character type. It's not anatomically correct. Making a cut up into the hat to make it look like the cheeks go up underneath. Defining underneath the nose. Gonna round everything off. Nobody likes a square face. Try to make the nose look a little more nose-like. Make the indication of the mustache and the mouth. I'm not going to make any lips or any teeth or anything on this. Just giving the indication of where the mouth is. Hope somebody can get enjoyment out of this. Summertime, so I'm not spending a lot of time in the shop. Just clean up as you go. Round things off. And here's where I'm going to make the indication of the eyes. I'm going to cut down pretty deep in the corner of the nose and the hat, and then I'll just kind of make a sweeping, scooping cut just to make it a little more defined. We'll do it again here. Hat, nose, and make that sweeping, scooping cut. I'm going to make the ears a little pointy here, because gnomes are, you know, part of the elf family. Elf, leprechaun, all of that. So I decided to put the ears outside of the hat. Make it a little pointy. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's a good thing because none of mine are perfect. Define the toes here of the foot a little bit. It's about 3/8 of an inch up from the bottom. It's a good starting point. And I'll cut this off later at the bottom, right where I've defined the bottom of the feet. Now, I didn't mark any of this out. Just you just make an angled cut from the top of your feet down to about 1/16 of an inch, I would guess, just to make it look like they're, you know, the pants are going to be kind of lapped over the shoes at that point. Just more illusion. I'll stick the feet outside of the, make it show in front of the beard, I should say. It's always a good day when you get in the shop and just do whatever you like to do. I'll round off everything a little bit. If I knew I wasn't going to use the rest of this piece, I would have rounded all the bottom, because square edges cutting into your hand is uncomfortable, to say the least. Make the mouth a little deeper. Well, the indication of the mouth a little deeper. It's kind of using that same motion, that scooping, sweeping cut. Find the ear a little bit better here. See where I've rounded off the cheeks as I've gone along, defining the the pieces a little bit in the spaces, round it off. This was a fun little carve or whittle, whatever you want to call it. The 2x4s are very easy to come by here in the States. But whatever wood you have is the wood you can make it out of. Just might be a little harder, depending on what species you go with. I'm using one of my favorites, knife. I got an OCC Tool knife. This is the 1 3/8. I have a 2-inch one that I really enjoy too. But knives are not important. You could do this with a utility knife. You can do this with a pocket knife as long as you have it sharp enough. I've found over time dull knives are worse and more dangerous to work with than a sharp knife is. So strop your knife. I stropped mine. I think I only stropped this one once. I try to strop about every 25-30 minutes of carving. And it just depends on how much you're cutting. This one holds an edge wonderfully, so once was enough during this. I think I finally stopped at like 45 minutes or so and stropped once. It's a good day when you can make wood chips in the shop. I decided to make hands on this. Might have to learn how to make hands a little bit better. I thought they turned out okay in the end. In the beginning, they don't look much like hands. A pretty deep cut here on the arms, and then I'll cut up to it. Making stop cuts on the arms. Straight cut in. And cut up to it. Cut away the square part on the edge here. Gives the illusion of the arm sticking out away from the body. Stop cuts and relieve up to it from the bottom. Start making the cuts around the hands. I've never made folded hands. This is a little different. But I'm continually trying things that I don't normally do or haven't done. the only way you learn new skills. I've been outside quite a bit. Not been in the shop much. I like to camp. Just enjoy the outdoors. Garden. It's been a really strange year this year for the garden. We got so much rain in the beginning, and then it slacked off, and then it started up again. So just normally by now I've got a little bit, I'm a little farther ahead in my garden. Make the shoulder away from the ear so it doesn't look like his shoulders are growing out of his ears. Separating his pants and his feet from his hair and his beard. Stop cutting and relieve up to it. Same thing. Just always going around looking at what needs to be taken away. And the longer you do it, the easier it is. I will probably never make museum quality pieces, but I enjoy doing it. Most of these, they're on the shelf in my den, or I've given more away as gifts. You could probably sell these if you're better at it. I'm not that good, so I do stuff that I think people will enjoy. I know there's a lot of people out there that think they have to go spend a ton of money on people for gifts. I have found that, at least in my experience, I have found that people enjoy something that you've taken time to do, whether it's drawing something on a piece of paper, or painting, or any of the infinite number of crafty things you can do. I'll separate his hands away from his sleeves. And I'm going to make little triangle cuts where his hands meet the sleeves. Just to give it a little bit better separation. And done. Cutting the fingers out of this, I had to think about it, and I still didn't get it right. There again, definitely not anatomically correct. This was a little bit more challenging as far as trying to get them correct. Over, under, over, under. but it was enjoyable. Just take your time. I normally have my earbuds in or headphones on and listening to a book or listening to music or a podcast. You really don't have to think while you're doing this. Well, let me rephrase that. You don't have to think much while you're doing this. This is supposed to be relaxing. You should be able to do this without really thinking about doing it. It's a cheap hobby. I'm gonna split this off a little bit to make the hair stick out away from his body a little bit. Give it some room for separation. Now the ears, I just basic ear shape, a pointy ear, and then I just made like a shallow triangle to give it indications of the top and bottom part of the ear rather than trying to make an intricate ear. It's kind of a D with a triangle taken out of the middle. No, it's just a matter of looking around to see what doesn't look right, fix it, and move to the next spot that doesn't look right. Make his pants go into his shirt right here on the sides. A good brush gives you the gets rid of a lot of the little fuzzies. Making all the spots where things meet deeper, and the more shadows in a carving, the more details it looks like it has. Finding where his hands are, beard underneath, pushing it back underneath the hands. I'm at the point in the carving where it's just look and fix, look and fix. I cut off the excess Gonna give it the final go over. See, there's a bunch of separations here. The foot and the beard and the pants and the hair all, kind of come together. So you have to make it look correct. Now this, I took just a small U-gouge and a V-tool, and I started off with the V-tool to make deeper cuts, and I was not real happy with that, so I switched to the U-gouge, and then after I had gouged areas out, I went back with the V-tool to give it a little bit different dimension. Now, everywhere where there's a hair and beard, I tended to do both again. And just make sure you get along the edges, give it a little separation there. This is where I figured out, oh yeah, the gouge works lots better than the V tool to begin with. I think this is where I figured it out, where it's like, yeah, I think I'll do that for the rest of the carving. Now you can definitely do this with a knife, or you don't have to do anything. You can leave it smooth. I like the texture it gives it a little, the illusion of, a little movement to it. Just be careful and don't jab this into your hand. And no, I don't have a glove on in this one. Wear your glove, especially if you're just starting out. I didn't wear a glove for a long time, and you're gonna cut yourself. That's just it is when you're dealing with sharp tools or implements of any type. You're eventually gonna cut yourself, and as careful as you can be, it's just that split second that the phone rings, or a dog hits you, or your wife hollers at you, and you tend to leave to leave marks after that. Do what you're comfortable with. I've done the back of the head. I'm coming back with the V tool to give it a little bit different texture in spots on the where I used the gouge. I want to say it was a number 3. I think that's what that one is. It's just a palm tool. Give it a little bit more texture. And I'll clean up all the little fuzzies. This is a piece of 320, and it's foam backed, so I don't put a lot of pressure on it, just enough to kind of get rid of the fuzzies and maybe a harsh edge. And I think that'll do it. Have a great day.